Hey, happy Halloween everyone! I got 6 more games for you this year that you should definitely check out, especially if you're on your own. Halloween night. Let's do this! One of the reasons why I think the Wii was one of the best systems of all time is the copious amounts of third-party support it had. Sure, you have stuff like Ninja Man, Shrek Kart Racing, and many other stinkers, but throw enough shit at the wall and something will eventually stick, and that shit is Escape from Bug Island. Bug Island is a survival horror game set on the island of Beelzebub. Many games like to play homage to old B-movies and sci-fi films of the 50s, like EDF for instance, but I feel like Bug Island is trying to imitate sci-fi original movies. With great self-aware dialogue, I honestly think that this is one of the funnier games out there. The map mechanic is also really fun for me, as I get great satisfaction for filling out the fog of war. Quite an odd positive, but a positive nonetheless. And with classic survival horror controls and lots of fun enemy types that are constantly being introduced, Bug Island is a fantastic ride from start to finish. Oh god, there's fireworks. Before Suda51 was giving us great otaku wish fulfillment, he was giving us great cameraman fulfillment. In Michigan Report from Hell, you play as a cameraman for the local news station as a weird fog sweeps in and monsters start emerging from them. I'm conflicted as to call this one a game, as it's more of a dreaded walking sim, but instead of being set in some boring locale like most of those games are, Michigan gives us an interesting scenario to play in. You will mostly be following around your anchorwoman getting information on what is going on, or you could just walk away when people are talking. Who cares? Go explore a bit if you like. But be careful where you left her, because if she dies, she's dead for good and will be replaced with a new anchorwoman. This means that there are very few game overs as the player character never dies but the anchorwoman does. And I'm not ashamed to admit I got protected of my cute anchorwoman as we explored monster-infested mansions, and got really deflated when she met her end. Suda has expressed interest in a sequel after he saw Wreck, the Spanish found footage film, and found footage films are incredibly popular right now, so I think it would do really well. I mean, Outlast brought a lot of mechanics that can be built around the idea of using a camera, so bring Michigan back. It's also worth mentioning that it doesn't take place in the state of Michigan, but by Lake Michigan. I just thought you'd like to know. Yamawari is the RPG maker game with the biggest budget. Set from the perspective of a small child, Yamawari tries to get you into the mindset of a small child afraid of the dark, as you take control of a small girl trying to find her dog and sister in the middle of the night, with all manner of interesting looking monsters to scare you. Not sure if these creatures are based on Japanese urban legend, but they look really cool, and disturbing in a 2D cartoony sort of way. I love the art aesthetic in the game. All the menus and maps are made to look like they were created by a little girl. This helps draw you into the world and get closer to your main heroine. Unfortunately, the gameplay is a little jank. It's fine when you're just exploring around looking for puzzles, but this game is very insta-kill heavy, with enemies just touching you and you die. And if you do die, you lose no progress and just go back to a nearby checkpoint with any items you collected still in your inventory. And that can derail a lot of the tension. A sequel came out in 2017, but Amazon hasn't shipped mine yet, so who knows, maybe the sequel fixes everything. Also, the game comes with HTQL hashtag, which I heard is bad, but whatever, 2 games for 1. Hey, welcome to Did You Know Gaming. Did you know there was a Blair Witch video game? Well, I'm lying, because there were actually 3. And we will be talking about the first released one, where you play as a secret detective in the 1950s who is basically an old-timey Ghostbuster, who is sent to a small town to investigate strange disappearances and, suffering from sanity effects, fighting demons and other creepies. I see your face, and what does this have to do with the Blair Witch? Well, the mythos of the Blair Witch is quite expansive. There is, of course, the witch herself, there's the serial murderer who lived out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, there was the devil worshippers who sacrificed people on a giant rock, so it has everything to do with Blair Witch, because what is the Blair Witch about anyway? But the game was really a spin-off of Nocturne, if you know what that is, so maybe they just got the license or something. There are references to the film, so there you go, but it's a really entertaining survival horror game, and its obscurity makes it even scarier in my opinion. As with the movie Blair Witch, that was based on a found footage of a horrible event, I too have found this video game, and that connection did give me chills. Also, the fact that cutscenes would break not only were hilarious, but sometimes unsettling, like the game was gaining sentience. Illbleed is the most interesting and unique game I have ever played. Not hyperbole, 100% true. To say there is nothing like Illbleed is both amazing and sad, as nothing this revolutionary will be seen again. In most horror movies you are anticipating the scare, waiting for it to come. Illbleed allows the player to guess where the jump scare will appear with its unique tagging mechanic. This is the main feature of Illbleed, going around a haunted mansion based on a ridiculously fake story, and predicting where scares will occur using clues the UI will give you. But that's not all. There is combat with a variety of grotesque monsters who all bleed ridiculous amounts of blood when struck. It has a fantastic voice cast with the best, worst dialogue in a game that almost feels like it was improv. Every line had me burst out with laughter with how ridiculous it was. And its weirdness and unique setting mean anything can happen. Go out and play this game. I don't care how you do it, as it's worth every second. The precursor to Resident Evil, Sweet Home is who we have to thank for survival horror. Many people will like to claim that it was Alone in the Dark that invented the genre, and while that game can take some credit, Sweet Home was made by Capcom and features a group of people going into a mansion solving puzzles and fighting monsters. Sound familiar? The thing that makes Sweet Home unique to me is that every character has a special ability that you need to use in order to solve puzzles, but their key items can be used not only for puzzles in the mansion segments, but in battles themselves. Meaning if you want to be efficient in combat, you should think about what items your characters have and how they can be used in the ways to defeat your enemies. You can make parties of whatever characters you want, but there is a 3-person party limit, so you must have some split up. This allows you to explore the mansion differently as you solve puzzles on 2 different sides of the map. And the monster designs are very cool and detailed, especially for a Famicom game. When I was playing the game, I was just impressed with how different the game was to anything I had played before. So I'd like to thank the great-grandfather of survival horror, as without this game, I doubt many of my favourite games would exist at all. So, that's it. Happy Halloween. I hope you guys play some of my suggestions that I did, because they're really good, and I think they're well worth to play this Halloween. Any of them are worth playing this Halloween. So, go out there and go and play them. Yeah! Alright. I'm good at outros.